Okay guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're doing a little bit of a phone background with a corridor kind of theme with it. So what you're going to need to do first and foremost is click the camera at the side. And what I'm going to do, I will add the keylog kind of things on there afterwards, but I'm just going to show you what to do first. So we're going to go ahead and just take the camera right here. We'll switch this out from EV to cycles. And what I'm going to do, we need to change the size of the actual camera. So what you want to do is come over to the side tab right here, go to output, and what we're going to do is change the size. Now, depending on which phone you have, you're going to have to change it to your phone specifications. So for my phone in particular, and do it via pixels. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1440, this is for my phone. Yours might be slightly different. And then we're going to go 3088. So this is just primarily to make sure that this project looks good on your phone. You don't want something where you've got a big phone screen and then you've got like a really small picture, because it's just going to blow it up and it's just going to ruin the effects of it. And you know, I mean, if you did have a small phone screen and you made something big and then you put it onto that screen, I guess it would look a little bit better. There'd be a little bit more definition, but it may not fit top to bottom. So, bearing that in mind, what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and change these screencasting keys right here. Okay, so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to press 1. I'm going to go to the side view. And what I'm going to do is go view, and we're going to go align camera to view. So align view, align camera to view, right there. And now we've got this nice little side view going on. So I'm just going to go ahead and split the atom right here, just so it's half and half. And in this section right here, what I'm going to do, just get rid of this transform 1 second, is we can now see what's going on the camera. What we need to do is take this cube, and we're going to go ahead and make it into almost like a corridor. So what I'm going to do, press G, just kind of scale it up a little bit. So we've got this nice little oblong going on. And I'm going to go ahead and just bring it towards the camera. And maybe if you want to as well, you can just pull this down, just ever so slightly. And then I'm just going to elongate it. It doesn't matter if it hits your camera at the moment, because we can work with that, no problems. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, press G, just bring it. You don't want it here, but you want it just past the camera. So if we go on to X-ray, we can see that the camera's on the inside. So if we go to the render tab right here, the viewport shading, you can see that this is completely black on the inside. So what we need to do is we need to add an emission. So I'm going to go ahead and add, and we'll go, you know, actually I'm going to take this cube right here. So we've got the exact size on here. We're going to go Shift D, duplicate it, bring it up. I'm just going to take this X-ray toggle off just for 1 second. Let's go to edit mode. You want to get rid of all of these faces on the side. So let's go with this face right here. Delete faces, delete faces, delete faces, delete faces. And primarily what you're doing is you're just getting yourself a nice little piece of the puzzle right here. So what we're going to do with this right here is we're going to go to, let's go expand this so you guys can see what's going on. We're going to go to modifiers, add modifier, and we will go with wireframe. So now you can see that we've got this nice little wireframe going on around the outside. Right click and shade it smooth. We're going to go G, bring it down. And what you want to do essentially, once we can get to this side, is just thicken the edges just a little bit. So take this thickness right here and just thicken the edges, or shallow them, whatever you want to do with them. And then we're just going to pull the offset just a little bit as well. Okay, so once we've got this, we can go with G, bring it to the front of the project, just as such, so you can see that it's just here. We're going to go on to the materials tab, we're going to switch out principal BSDF on the surface to an emission. So you see that we've got this now. So when we come onto the render right here, you can see that we've got an emission going on. But there's a problem, because both of these shapes now have the exact same emission. So what I want to do is take the corridor on the outside. We're going to go minus off this one material. And now we have this. So you can have your corridor as red. You can have this as black. You can have this as any kind of tone you want. Let's go with this nice little red that's going on right here. So now we've got this little corridor pass that's going on, and we want to expand this towards the back. So what I'm going to do, let's go on to wireframe mode just for a moment so we can see what we're doing. I'm just going to go ahead and move this back. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go Shift D, and you can do this manually, you can do this via keyboard, but if you press 1, you'll notice that it moves within one space. So if I press enter on there and then I go Shift D again and then I get it onto this axis and I press 1 again, you'll notice that it's got equidistant between each one. Now, I don't want 1 on this because unless you want a really stripy corridor, totally up to you if you want that, I'm not going to judge. We're going to put these a little bit further more, we're going to put these more further apart. Yeah. So, let's go with Shift D. And I'm going to put 10 in. And you get the little corridor coming back here. So then I'm going to go Shift D again. And we're going to put 10. Corridor goes back. We'll go Shift D. We're going to put 10. Corridor goes back. And what I'm going to do, because obviously we've just hit the wall at the back here, is I'm going to go ahead and just press the S. And just scale this out just a little bit more. So we've got a little bit of a longer corridor. So this kind of phone screen is really great if, say, like you're doing something kind of Halloween-y, or maybe, you know, you're just kind of interested in emissions and stuff like that. It looks really cool. As well, you'll notice that we're going 10 apart right here for the little doorways that we're doing. If you wanted to go backwards, 10, we go Shift D. And what you want to press is minus 10. And that will go minus 10. So now we have minus 10, the original 10, 20, 30. If that makes perfect sense to you. So we also have, if you guys have noticed, that this has popped up as well. So this right here is actually a camera issue. Very, very simple to fix. So as I remember it, we need to go into the camera settings. So let's go and click on the camera settings. So you've got all these different kind of things that you can have with the camera. So right here, if you click start, this is 0.01 meters. So this actually shows when my computer catches up. There we go. Right, so this actually shows where this is. If I take this 100 meters right here and I just lower it, you see how that grey box gets bigger? So, this is how far the camera can see. So what you want to do is go past 100 if this grey box starts to appear. So, now you can see that we've kind of got this immense kind of corridor that we're going into. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and amend some of these points right here. So, let's take this one right here. Let's go Shift D. And we can go 10. You can also take 2 of them if you wanted to, and you go Shift D. Now we don't want to go 10 on this, but we could go maybe 30. You could go 20, like this, yeah. So you got that nice little gap coming in between. So I think it's 3. There, blooming out. Get my words out today. 3, 4, 30. So let's go Shift D. And then we'll press 30, like that. So now we're slowly going into the distance. So I think this is a great phone kind of background if say like you're really into sci-fi as well. So let's go Shift D. Let's move this across. We'll go 30 again. I've clicked the camera a couple of times. Have you noticed this? So there's a camera here. There's a camera here. I've accidentally swiped the camera whilst I was duplicating. Oops. So I'm just going to go ahead and just click these cameras just to get rid of them. Don't mind me. And then if you click the box on the outside, just double click it, it'll be fine. Just press delete and these will disappear. So now, our final piece, once this kind of renders in somewhat, looks like this. Now you can go ahead and you can add a few things on here if you wanted to. So what I'm going to do is change some of the parameters around the outside as well. So when my computer catches up with me, come on, there we go. Right, okay, so let's go ahead and take these two. We'll go Shift D and we'll go 20. And what I'm going to do, let's see, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So let's go Shift D. We said 80, right? So that should be 80 right there. Let's take this corridor external. Let's go with edit mode. I'm just going to go ahead and take the face at the end and just pull it across. So let's go G. Pull this across. Just to the back right there. So now we should have kind of this infinity corridor going on. So let's see. Goes all the way into the back right there. So it doesn't matter if this doesn't look quite correct at the moment. It takes a while with lighting for it to render. Don't worry about it. So if you want to change some of the textures here and you kind of want to pull some things out and you want to make it look a little bit nicer, we're going to go with the shading tab. So the shading tab right here, very simple. We have all of these little options, little menu options, stuff like that. What we're going to do, we're going to, let's go ahead and take the floor of this to begin with. So click your corridor. We're going to go edit mode. And we're going to take the face at the bottom right here. And we're going to make this a different material. So what you want to do, press plus. And we're going to go new. And name this corridor material 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do for you guys, we'll click assign on that one as well. Let's go to object mode real quick. And then what I'm going to do is go to view. And we'll go with cameras, active camera. Okay, so because I've changed the material on the base of this floor right here, you can now see that it's white. So what I'm going to do, we've got the nice little render going on right here. You could have it like this if you wanted it to. If you wanted it to be like that, you could go ahead and put a mirror modifier on there. Let's go ahead and just turn down the roughness. And now you have this kind of endless corridor of mirror. But to be honest with you, I don't really like this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just modify that back to what it was. This nice little white kind of corridor. I'm going to go ahead and add. And you can do different textures here. You can do brick, you can do checker. You've got noise texture, you've got point density, sky, Veroni. Veroni's quite nice if you want kind of a scattered look. So if we put the Veroni in here, colour to base colour. We've got this nice little scattered look. It's a bit stretched on here, but that's fine. So you get this nice little kind of texture. You go ahead and change that. You can change up the roughness, change up the detail as well. So you can kind of have this corridor that's running down a little bit. To be honest with you, probably not the best for this project, but we could also go with, let's see, texture. We could go with a noise texture. Gives it a little bit of depth. So you go ahead and scale this up a little bit. So you've got all the little lines coming in right here, and then it gets denser and denser and denser towards the end. So this is really good for depth of field as well. So let's start with this. Let's go with add, and we'll go color ramp. Color spelled the American way. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of deepen and darken some of these tones. The more that you pull these black and whites together, the more contrast they will be, and the more apart that they are, the less contrast they will be. They'll be smoother. So we're going to go ahead from here and add a bump as well. So let's go with bump node. Let's go ahead and add that in. You want to change the colour from normal to height. Now you've got this nice little bump node going on. We can go to the render tab. You can see that we've got this nice little charcoal kind of gradient coming down. It's kind of nice. You can go ahead and turn down the roughness. So you've got that nice little refraction coming back. You can go ahead and turn up the metallic if you wanted to, so you can kind of have like a ballroom kind of theme. And with this bump node as well, what it will do, especially if you've got noise textures, it will make little bumps onto the texture itself. So whilst at the moment all we're seeing is kind of like this kind of interference kind of thing going on, when you render this you'll actually see the texture, depending on how much texture you put on there initially. So you can also do the same with the walls as well if you want to, but to be honest with you, I think I'm just going to leave mine like this. Let's go to layout, and maybe we can kind of see this a little bit better. You can also do something with this lighting as well if you wanted to, if you really wanted to. So just click on this, or find the material in the drop down. You can make this a little bit brighter if you wanted to. You could make this a little bit darker if you wanted to, a bit more mysterious. You could go ahead and change the colours, so maybe we want a green. Kind of like a greeny red. Kind of like a Halloweeny kind of theme. Just as so. You can change this to blue. I don't quite like the blue, it's quite unsettling. Or you could change this to red. You could just have it full red if you wanted to. To be honest with you, I quite like that green, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to leave it as white. So, yeah, it's totally up to you guys what you want to do. I would say a brick texture would look really cool on this, but you know what I mean? But you can slowly start to see some of the details coming through here. So, when you're done with your project, and you're done with messing around with all the settings, we could go ahead and we could render image. Just press F12 to render image. Once your image starts to render, you'll have samples at the top. What you want to do is make sure that you reach the amount of samples that the image needs, and then you can save it. So you just go to image and it should be saved underneath. So yeah, that's the tutorial for this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for joining me. See you later. Okay, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're going to be making a nice little foam background. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, let's go ahead and take the camera right here. We're going to go to the render tab, switch out the EV for cycles, and then we're going to go to the output. And what you want to be looking at is the resolution of X and Y. And what we're going to do is, what I need you to do, really, is find out the dimensions of your own phone screen via pixels. So Google should be able to tell you, or the website where your phone, well, the company's website where your phone is from, so to speak. So for me personally, I know that mine is 144, where are we at? 440 3088. So 3088. So now we've got the dimensions of my phone right here, so this image will fit beautifully onto it. So what we're going to be doing on this little venture, we're going to be going ahead and making kind of like a glass themed wall. So what I need you to do is just get rid of your default cube, just press delete on that one. What we're going to do is press add, and we will go to, let's go to cylinder. We're going to go R for rotate, and you just want to type in 90. So this goes to 90 degrees. We're going to shade smooth. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go edit. Take the face right here that you've got on the side. We'll go E for extrude. We're just going to bring this out ever just so slightly and scale it in. Just a little bit. E for extrude again. S to scale in. E for extrude. S to scale in, and it's just going to look like the base of a wine bottle essentially. So S to scale in again, and then we're going to go E for extrude and start scaling inwards. So let's start going on this side right here. S for scale, E for extrude. We take this to the middle right here. Okay, so once you have a shape that's roughly like this, we can go ahead, click off the edit mode and go to object mode. Now with this in particular, we're going to go to the materials tab at the side. Go ahead and click new. Change your principal BSDF to glass BSDF. And when we render this, you'll notice that we get this. So the glass is a little bit frosted at the moment. We've got our little lamp over here, so we're getting some light. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn down the roughness ever so slightly so that we now have this nice little glass piece right here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to come off the render tab just for a moment. Just going to press 1 for side view. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this by 90 on the Z-axis. Now hopefully that should be the right way around. If it's not the right way around for you, let's go Shift D. Let me just undo that one. So we're not going to go Shift D, we're going to go R for rotate. So you need to rotate this again, but press 180. So now we have this nice little pattern going on, and we can see that we've got the face right here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, let's go Shift D, duplicate this out, put this to the side. And you want to get them close, but they don't have to be perfect. So we're going to go ahead and go Shift D again. Just select them both, press Shift, and then we're going to go Shift D. So we can go again. Let's go select them all, Shift D. Go across, select them all. We'll go Shift D again, all across. And then we're going to go ahead and we will move these again. So this time, what we're going to do with this is we're going to go Shift D. You want to go up to the top. We're going to press G. And we're just going to go ahead, press G again, and just bring them in to where they need to be. So they're kind of sat on top of one another. Again, box select. Just by dragging, select them all. We're going to go Shift D, and we'll bring them up to sit onto the next level. And we're going to go Shift D again, bring them up, sit on the next level. And then we'll go ahead and do Shift D again, bring them up, sit them on the next level. Shift D. And just carry on until you're happy with where your design is at. So, for me personally, I think that's enough. So, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to position my camera in a way that I feel is correct for my piece. So at this point, what you want to do is go to, let's go view. And what we want to do, align view, align camera to view. You can press G. You can click on the camera, press G. You can go ahead and scroll back if you need to. You can go R for rotate. Just rotate this round. And I might press G and just bring it closer a little bit so that it's roughly about here. So now you can see that we've got gaps at the side right here. So we're going to press G and just bring it up a little bit, just to get rid of those gaps. If you've got gaps, just come back out of it, press 1, and then refill the gaps at the side. So if I just split the atom right here so you guys can see what's going on the camera and you can see what's going on in the background, that would be great, I think. So we've got the camera right here. This orange box is the camera, and we can see that the camera is right here as well. So when we render this, we'll see that we've got a lot of glass going on in the corner. Now the light source is at the bottom right here. We can see that the light source is right here in the orange. What we need is the light source at the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the render for 1 second. Just going to go ahead and click delete on the light source. We're going to go add. We'll go plane. And when you get the plane should come in at the cross hatch right here. So we're going to go scale it out a little bit. S for scale. Rotate. And just hold onto the axes. We press 90. So it's 90-degree angle. We're going to press G. And what we're going to essentially do is just move this over what we've just created. Just roughly give it a size at the back. So let's go S. Scale this in just slightly. Scale this across just ever so slightly as well. And so when we have this, you won't be able to see it on the camera straight away because everything's black at the moment. We're going to take this, go to Materials, New, switch out the Principled BSDF for Emission. Now we're going to have an emission coming through the back. Now this emission's a little bit too strong for my liking, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it down a little bit. These glasses as well, I feel that we could make some amendments to them. So maybe I'm going to make them green. You can make them any colour that you want to. So let's go with kind of a green, and I'm just going to make them a little bit darker as well. Just as is. So this is kind of like a sci-fi kind of look, but we can take our roughness right here and we can rough these up. If you want them roughed up, you can go ahead and let them be how they are. And then you can mess around with the IOR as well. So you kind of have something like this if you wanted that, some nice little patterns. You could have something like this if you wanted. Totally up to you what you want. So you could also have these kind of nice little kind of dots going across as well. It's just kind of like a depth of field kind of thing going on. So what you can do as well is you could change this to from multi-scatter to one of these different settings as well. Go ahead and play with the volume if you want to. You could have sheen. Turn up and down the roughness as well. And what we can do, because this is glass, we can go ahead and we can take this emission that we've got right here, and we can actually Shift D, duplicate it, and bring it forward, just ever so slightly. So what I'm going to do, let's take this back one right here, and we're going to make them two separate materials. So the back one right here, just amend your strength to how much you would like it. This one right here, we're going to minus off the materials, and we're going to go new, and this will be our new emission. So we're going to change Principled BSDF to emission, and you can make this one brighter, just as such. So if I go ahead and just scale this down a little bit, and then I make it kind of like a strip lighting, we now have these little lights coming across. It just gives it a little bit more definition. I can go ahead and shrink that down. And I can go ahead and press G and bring this up. And what I could do as well, if I wanted to, was Shift D. Oops. Come on, Shift D. And we can do multiple of these going across. When my computer catches up, there we go. Just going to go ahead and Shift D again. And we can take these two down to the bottom. If it'll let me, there we go. So now we've kind of got this nice little ring kind of thing going on. If you wanted depth of field with this, we could go ahead and go to the camera right here. Go to depth of field, click this button right here, depth of field. We can go eyedropper. Let's select this one right here. And I'm just going to go to the f-stop, and we're just going to bring the f-stop all the way down. So now what we have is nice little items in focus, nice little items out of focus. What you could actually do with this, you can take this dropper and you could choose one roughly in the middle. And now we've got this out of focus on the outside, out of focus on this side, and the focus on the middle right there. So this is kind of just like a play around tutorial kind of thing. You know, if you wanted a background like this, that's pretty cool. You can also change the colours of these as well. The glass itself, so you could have like a red theme, you could go into purples, you could go into kind of like aqua blues, all that kind of stuff. It is totally up to you what you'd like with your design. For me personally, I mean, it was inspired by glass bottles, so green for me is probably the must, but this red looks really nice. So, that's the tutorial for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you need to render, just go to the render tab up here. It should be F12. Wait for the render to go through and all of your samples to sample. And then go to image and save. And that's how you will get your stuff. So make sure as well you save it as either a JPEG or something similar. You don't want to save it as an animation or anything like that. So if you guys enjoyed the tutorial, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye bye. Okay guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're going to be doing a background within Blender for our mobile phones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the camera real quick right here. I'm going to put in the dimensions for my phone. So you just want to go to output, and then we're going to go ahead and just type in the dimensions for your phone. You're going to want this in pixels. So my one is this. Totally up to you whether you want to copy or not. My gosh, I've got something in my eye. Great. Oh, it's an eyelash. Wonderful. Right, so once we've got this, you can see that the camera changes shape. And what we need to do is go to render, switch out Eevee, and go into cycles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the atom right here. We're going to put this side to camera. So let's go active camera. This orange box is the active camera as seen here as well. So we can see the default cube right in front of us. What we're going to do, we do need this actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and scale this outwards. Press S for scale. And we're just going to go ahead, scale this outwards again. We'll go to edit mode, shift, and then we want to go R. Oh, sorry. Let's go to edit mode. Sorry. Wrong one. You want to go Control R. Split this. Take this face at the bottom. Go E for extrude. And just bring it across. Just about here. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same again. Control R. And go ahead and just take this face and we'll go E for extrude. It doesn't matter if it's not neat or anything like that, because we're going to have the camera up at the side right here. So you want your camera to sit just about here. So what we're going to do is go to objects mode again. We'll go to view, and then we'll go align view, align camera to view. Press G, bring it back. So you've got that nice little backdrop, and then you've got this as well. So what we're going to be doing with this, I'm just going to go ahead and move this in, move it down a little bit I think as well. We're going to get some glass balls on here, just kind of perched on the side. So, what I'm going to do, we'll go to add, and we'll go to UV sphere. And we're just going to go ahead and place a UV sphere in the middle here. Now, these can be as big or as little as you want them to be for the purpose of this tutorial. And we're just going to make these a little bit smaller. Make sure they're just sat just on the edge, and what I'm going to do, just move them across just ever so slightly. And we're going to go to the materials tab, press new, switch out the principal BSDF for glass BSDF, and then turn down the roughness. So when you have finished that, you should have something like this, a nice little glass ball that's going on. Now, the lighting is at the back at the moment, so you will see all of this reflection and refraction coming this way. So, what I'm going to do now, let's go back to this render mode. I'm going to go ahead and get the, let's go Shift D. Just going to go ahead and move these into random places across here. Have them kind of cascading down the steps. Have them anywhere you want, really. You can have small ones, big ones. I'm just going to start off with big ones to begin with. Let's place that there. Let's go Shift D. Move this across. I'm just going to have some in the foreground as well. We can blur these out later on. Just have one there. And then I'm going to go ahead and make some small ones. So let's go Shift D, move this across. Scale this down. You're going to want to Press G again. Bring this down right here. Press G, bring it across. Just make sure it doesn't clip. It's just sat nicely. And then we're just going to go ahead and just make a few more of these in various and random places. Just across the piece. Have this one at the side. We could go ahead and put one here. Press Shift D again. Just going to move this down. And maybe we could make like a load of small ones just by here or something. So we kind of got it like this. And then you could go, I'm just going to bring this up just a little bit because I think that's just clipping just ever so slightly right there. Okay, so go ahead and take these. Let's go and just place these randomly just on the plane. And then once you are done with your design, you should have something like this. So now you'll see all the lights coming from this way, as we've said before. And we kind of want something just to make them look a little bit more rounded in stature. What I'm also going to do is change the background to red. So if we go to the world settings right here at the side, we can go colour. We can turn this up and we can go red. Just in the background. Maybe we'll go with a nice little maroon. Just about there, I think. Nice little reddy maroon. For this base right here, so this all right here, we're going to go to Materials tab and we'll go with a little bit more metallic. And we'll turn down this roughness a little bit. So now we've got this nice little reflection going on. And you've got this nice little kind of lighting hitting the side here. So what we're going to do from this point on, I'm going to change this to regular render. And I'm going to go ahead and add a plane. Let's go G, bring this up. I'm going to get rid of the original lighting. Take this plane right here. Just make it a little bit bigger. Maybe just rotate this and angle it a little bit. And then G, bring it across. So let's go with new. Principal BSDF. And we'll go emission. I'm going to change this to blue. So now we've got these nice little blue tones kind of coming through on the side. And if you make that a little bit bigger, they get a little bit bigger as well. Just on the sides here. If you increase the strength in the emission, then you'll get this. So the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some little points as well in the background. But I want another, let's go with another plane. Scale this up. Scale this across. G, bring it up. We'll go to the Materials tab again, New. Change the Principal BSDF to Emission. And then we're just going to turn this up and this will be the white lights on this side. I'm just going to press G and move this around a little bit just to see what kind of effects we can get with this. This is pretty cool. You could have like the reflection of the light just in the bottom right here. So you can see the reflection of everything and the depth kind of going on. That's totally up to you if you want to do that. I think, let's see. I need some more shine on these balls a little bit. So I'm just going to mess around with the IOR. Just to kind of get that shine on the balls a little bit more. So what we can do as well, we can go add, plane again. We're just going to go ahead and scale this out. Make sure that it sits just underneath your last step there. Scale this outwards. And now you've kind of got this little plane going on in the reflection as well, which is really cool to play with. So now we could go new. We could change this to maybe like a black kind of plane. Go ahead and turn up your roughness for that particular plane as well. Base colour, we could go with anything really. Go with a nice little kind of maroon kind of effect. If you turn it up as well, you can see that that comes through into the orbs. Totally up to you what you'd like. So we've got this like this. I'm going to go ahead and take this material underneath for the platform, and we'll just rough this up just ever so slightly. And then we're going to change it to a black. It's kind of like a black mirror just up at the bottom. And what we can do as well, we can put some of this lighting underneath. So I'm going to take this white one here. We'll go ahead and Shift D, move it across, and then just press G and just bring it underneath. So scale. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just rotate it as well, 90 degrees. Press G, bring it across. I'm just going to go ahead and scale that across as well. So now you can see that we've got this nice little reflection going on within the glass and stuff. So what we can actually do is we can add things into the background. We could go ahead and add patterns or whatever like that. So we've kind of got that nice little pattern coming through. Let's go on to the shading tab just for one moment. We're going to change object right here to world settings. And what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and add texture. Maybe we could do checker texture, color to color. Hopefully this works. There we go, we got this nice little checker texture. And you can just go ahead and just like experiment with this. See what's going on with it. Let's go to the camera view. So camera's active view. And now we can see what's going on. We've got this kind of nice little pattern coming through. I think it's too much. Let's tone this down a little bit. So now you can see kind of like inside of the balls as well. I'm going to go ahead and take this platform and just make it a little bit lighter as well. I think that could work really well in our favour. So now we've got this nice little lighting going on. And to be honest with you, I think I might just leave it like that for the foam background. I think that's pretty cool for what we have. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the tutorial, like, subscribe, you know, follow, all that kind of jazz. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, welcome guys to the next Blender tutorial. So today what we're going to be doing is making a nice little pattern for a phone. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, let's go ahead. I'm going to go and press 7 to heaven. So what we essentially need is a grid of blocks coming around the side here. So what we're going to do is let's go with edit mode. Let's go with, select the top face right here. We're going to go E for extrude. Scale this inwards. E for extrude. Scale this inwards. Just make it nice and smooth upon the top right here. We're going to go E for extrude. And then we'll go down just ever so slightly and then we'll scale inwards. So it's kind of got that nice little kind of curve going on. So we're going to go to object mode. We're going to shade this smooth. And we're going to go into material. Let's go with, we'll go with a nice brown. For this kind of maroony brown. Go ahead and turn your metallic up and your roughness can be, it can stay where it is. So you've kind of got this kind of block that looks like a bit of chocolate. So we're going to go ahead, 7 to heaven. And we're just going to go ahead and duplicate these out. So Shift D. Maybe leave about a box between each one. Roughly, like an EST. Let's go ahead and just put that next to it. Okay, so we'll take these two and we'll go Shift D again. Just going to go ahead and go to the side right here again. Let's get that nice little box in between as best you can. Just going to move that up just ever so slightly. You don't want them perfect, but at the same time you kind of want them in line and in order. So we're going to go Shift D. Let's go the opposite way. And we've got the box again. So once we've got something like this, I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of my lighting tool right there. Let's go with this, Shift D. You want to get that box up again. So just go ahead and zoom in. Press G, bring it down. Again, box select. And we're going to go ahead and Shift D, move it up. Again, that nice little box in between. And then Shift D will move it up again. So, primarily what we want to do with this is we just want to get it quite neat. Just as such. So, once you've got something like this, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and add a UV sphere. Just at the side here, as you can see. We'll press G, just bring it up. Right click Shade Smooth. Go to your Materials tab, New Material. We'll go with kind of nice little gold material. Somewhere in between that yellow, orange and red. So just about there. We're going to go ahead and make it metallic. Turn that roughness down. And we're going to make this a little bit smaller, so to scale it down. We'll go G, bring this across. Bring this down into one of the folds right here. So once we've got this, we're going to go scale. And you can have these as big as you want. And all you just need to do is just get it into that little cross right there. Just in the middle. Maybe scale it up a little bit if you're wanting to. It doesn't matter if it interacts, it's fine. We'll press 7 to heaven. Go ahead and move this ball, Shift duplicate into all these spaces right here. Let's go ahead and move these up. You can go ahead and select multiple. Shift D this across. And what I like to do is kind of cover the edges as well. So let's go Shift D. And we'll place one just on the edge here. So now what you want to do is just click every single one that you've just made. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go Shift D, move this down. And what essentially you're going to do is just put a ball in between every single square. So go ahead, select everything that you have here. Might take you a minute. Okay, so once you're there, we're going to go Shift D, duplicate these up, make sure they're in the middle of the cross, Shift D, duplicate these up, again, middle of the cross, Shift D, duplicate these up, again, middle of the cross, kind of thing. And then you can go ahead and make another one if you want to, and then just delete the top row if that's where you've ended up. So, once we've got this design right here, what I'm going to do is add, and let's go with plane. Scale this up, press G, put it in between the design here, scale up again, just on the outside. And what I'm going to do is press G, let's press G, don't press H, that gets rid of stuff. And we're just going to get it in between here, so we've got this nice little kind of sandwich. Now if you wanted to go further, we could go to edit mode, and take the sides right here, just press G, and we can just bring these in a little bit. So once you're back on object mode, let's go 7 to heaven. And we're going to take this background that we've just made, and we're going to go to the drop down here and go to gold. So this one's going to show up as gold as well. Now what we can do, because we are working in cycles, we're going to change this from EV to cycles if we haven't already. So now when we've got this on, it should look like this. We've not done the lighting at the moment, so once the lighting's on there, it should look a lot better. So let's see. You want to change your camera setting sizes. So your output, especially if you're making this for a phone screen, you're going to have to put your phone screen pixel size in here. So mine is this. If you're making a computer screen, then obviously make the design bigger and put your computer screen dimensions in here via pixel. So now we have our little dimensions right here. What I'm going to do is go to view. We'll go to align view, camera to view. So this is our camera right here. I'm going to go ahead and just press R for rotate. I can press G just to bring it in just a little bit, and G just to move it around just ever so slightly. So now this is our pattern that we have. You can go ahead and rotate this to any bit that you would like, whether you want it straight or maybe you've got it at an angle. Totally up to you. So when we render this, we get nothing right now. So I'm just going to split the atom. You can see what's going on the actual render, and I can start putting the lighting in. So what I'm going to do, let's go to add. We'll go to plane, G, bring it up, scale it up. So you've got this nice little strip right there. Go to your materials tab, new, and instead of principal BSDF, we'll change this to emission. So now you see that we've got this nice little emission coming through right here. So if we go Shift D, let's move this across, we can now get a nice little emission at the top as well. Best thing about this, we can change this to kind of like a nice little goldy colour if you wanted it like that. And we could also turn this up a little bit. We could have some strength coming in here. So if you turn up one of them, it will inevitably turn up the other one unless you change the material. So we've got these nice little two ones here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to change the material. So we go Shift D and say this one, we rotate this by 90, and then we press G and we move across to the opposite side. Now if you wanted a different tone coming in here, all you need to do is take that particular one that you've made that you want to change. You're going to press minus, we're going to go new, change out principal BSDF to emission, and now you can change it to blue, you can change it to pink, whatever colour you want, just turn up the emission as well. And now you have this nice little blue coming through on this side as well. And I think this is great if, say, like you have one of those phone cases where you're in maybe a professional meeting or something, and like you need that background for your phone that looks really good as well without somebody unlocking it. So it's like, even if you're just like looking at the time, you can go, oh yeah, the time's blah blah, and it looks really great. So you don't kind of see that personal side of your phone, you see that business side of your phone kind of thing. So you could go ahead and put blue on this side, and we could go ahead and take this, and we could go Shift D, move this across. And for this one in particular, we could go with it red. So we could minus this off, let's go new, principal BSDF, emission, and we can change this to red. We could go ahead and just pull the strength up on that a little bit. Totally up to you what your colour palette is. It's, you know, it's your design at the end of the day. Let's put that there. Yeah, so this is what it should look like in the end. If you guys want to go ahead and put texture in via shading or something like that, I mean, you can do, but to be honest with you, it kind of looks kind of great like this. I'd say the gold, maybe scratch the gold up a little bit if you're going to do that. But yeah, I think it looks great like this, just as is. So yeah, enjoy experimenting, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Okay guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're going to be making a phone background. So all you need to do to start off with is click the camera right here. We're going to go to render. We'll switch out EV to cycles, And what we're going to do, go to output, and in resolution you want to place the pixels, or at least the pixel size for your phone within here. So for mine, this is the X, and for the Y I'm going 3088. So you'll notice that the camera also changes shape. So this means now that this is to the size of my phone screen. So what I'm going to do, let's press 7 to go above, and I'm going to go view, and we will go with align view and camera to view. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to go and add a plane, scale this out. I'm going to go ahead and go to the materials tab, and I'm going to make this a dark blue. You can kind of make it a royal blue if you want to. I'm going to take the default cube right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and elongate it. Just as such. Just make sure that it goes just slightly off the camera part, because we're going to be using this. So when we render this, we can see that we now have this nice little white line, and we've got a load of space at the side. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to offset it just slightly, and then I'm going to go ahead, and I think for this one I'm going to go plus, and I'm going to make one of these gold. So we'll go with metallic, and then we'll go roughness down. Now you'll notice that this hasn't changed at the moment, so what we need to do, Shift D, I'm going to duplicate this across, and we're going to remove the material that we've made originally and keep with this gold. So what I'm going to do is also shrink this down into little parts. So we're going to go G, just bring this up. I'm going to put this white one here to the side because this will be our reference one. So let's put this right here. I'm going to go ahead with this one, and I'm going to go and duplicate it a bunch of times. So let's go and scale this in. And then you can scale it out at certain points as well. You'll have little height differences as well, which is okay to have those, because then we can get some nice little shadows going on. I'm just going to go ahead, duplicate this once more. Come on. Yep. Okay, so once I've got this into play and we've got all these little bits in position, what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to put in some more blue stripes. So I'm going to take the original right here. I'm just going to change out the render just for the moment, just so that we can get this to where it needs to be. So I'm going to take this white one right here, and we're going to go plus again. We'll go new, and this will be the blue. So with this particular one, we can now change this to blue. You want to make sure that it's a little bit of a lighter colour than what we've got, and perhaps just slightly grey in tone. So what I'm going to do, Shift D again. We'll go ahead and put this out there. You want to go ahead and minus off the gold, minus off the white, and then we have this blue. So with this blue, we can go with big bits. We can go ahead and put this in different positions as well. So go across there. And you're just basically mashing up whatever's on the screen. So we could go G, bring this down. Gonna go ahead and just put that up a little bit. Okay, so this bit right here, we're gonna go for this one again, and we're gonna go plus, and we'll go new. This one will be the darker. So we can go ahead and we could go and make this a kind of dark royal blue if you wanted to. So we're going to go Shift D. And what you want to do again just minus off these. And what we're going to do, scale this down, and you just want to put this in random positions again. Let's go with there, let's go there, let's go there. And just drag them up and down, so you've got that nice little difference as well. So when we go to the render, it should look something like this. So, well, I'm going to get rid of this light right here. I'm just going to go delete. Now we have this nice little pattern going on in the background. You can go ahead and move your camera if you don't like the position of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and click my camera right here and just press G. And just bring it across. Okay, so once we've got this, I'm just going to split the screen right here. And I'm going to go ahead and add a plane. You press G, a plane or a cube, whatever you'd like. Scale this down. I'm just going to take it off this render version for the moment. Scale it across. What we're going to do is make this an emission. So principal be SDF and make emission. And then I'm going to go ahead and just put random ones across the screen. So we can go 10 apart. If you're going the opposite way this way, you just put -10 for that one. So if we go again with G and we go -10. Now 3 lights. Again, you're on this -10 for this one. So when we render this in the render tab, we should have something that looks like this. So we can actually increase the lighting, we can decrease the lighting as well. Depends on what you want to do. So what I'm going to actually do is put some more lights in this as well. Let's go ahead and Shift D. And then we'll put 5, so these go in the middle. And if you wanted even more, take all of these. And then we can go Shift D. And we want to go 2.5. Just here, so you've got this nice little stripe going on. Now you'll notice these have just come in front of the camera. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select these. And I'm going to press G and bring them up behind the camera. So now we've got this nice lighting going on just at the back. You can also increase the strength of this just a little bit, or decrease depending on what you want to do with it. And what I think I might do as well is add maybe some black stripes in here as well. So if we just go ahead, come on, there we go. Right, okay, so maybe some silver, maybe some black as well. So if we just go ahead with this, we press plus, and we can go new, and we can type in black. We're going to Shift D again, move it across, minus everything off that isn't black. I'm just going to press G to move this across. I'm going to put these more upwards. I can press G, put this up here, Shift D, just pull this down here, then G again, bring this up. I might actually make the black slightly reflective as well, so we can pull that metallic just there, pull the roughness down. And what we should have in the end is something like this. So of course we want to take this lighting as well and just pull this up just ever so slightly to the lighting that you'd like for your phone. So this is just like kind of a retro kind of background, kind of like an 80s kind of look, I would guess, at a push. So I'm going to go ahead with that black as well and just adjust it. I'm just going to amend it just slightly. Let's take down that roughness. That metallic's up. I'm just going to go ahead and just lighten it just ever so slightly as well, so that we've got that nice stripe going through. So yeah, that's the tutorial for today. If you guys are interested in subscribing, it would mean the world to me. And I guess I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Okay guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So we're going to be doing a foam background in this one. We did a gold one last time, but I didn't quite like the way that it turned out, but I posted it anyway. So today we're going to be remaking it, but a little bit different. So what I need you to do, go to the render. We'll go to switch out EV to cycles. We're going to go ahead to the output. Now you want to pay attention to the resolution, X and Y right here. What you want to do, essentially, is find out how many pixels across your phone has and how many pixels down. So, once you've got those, go ahead, put this into here. And what I'm going to do, let's go 3088 for the next one for my one. What I'm going to do, let's go 7 to heaven, right here. What I'm going to do is go view, and we will align camera to view. Now, what we want to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and shrink this cube down just ever so slightly. And I'm going to change this to gold. So we go Principal BSDF Materials section. And we're going to go ahead, go metallic. If we turn on the render right here, you can see what I'm doing. And we'll go roughness and we'll bring that up just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and change this to a nice yellowy orange for that gold aesthetic. Blender has stopped working apparently. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and just blank off this screen real quick, and then I'm going to reload Blender. Where are my settings at? Window capture. Right, okay, just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get this to work again, because for some reason it's totally crashed. Okay, so you're gonna have to look at my beautiful face whilst we're doing this. You know, I'm hearing the haters. I'm hearing the haters. I heard someone who was really, yeah, I don't even want to get into it, but I just thought really, man. Okay, we are back. Okay, so we are good. I just need to get those screenshot keys right there. Yes. Okay, so we'll go ahead. We'll change the EV to cycles. I have no clue why stuff is crashing on me today. This is crazy. Yeah, I woke up this morning with no internet connection as well, so clearly there's something going on. Although it may be the fact that I did put a game capture card right next to my Wi-Fi card, which I think they're interfering with one another, so maybe I'm going to make some amendments to that. So we have our camera right here, we have our little cube right here. We'll go 7 to heaven. Let's go ahead and make this cube again. We'll go materials, and we're going to go ahead and just make that kind of a goldy colour. You guys could probably do this better than me. Let's take down that roughness and we'll put it on that render. So now you can see this is kind of roughness going on. I'm just going to go ahead and shrink that down just a little bit. This lighting, we're going to need to improve that just ever so slightly so we can see what's going on. Right, so with this cube, we've got material. We're going to call this gold. And every single cube that we do from now on is going to be the same gold that we do, unless we amend it into a different material. So I'm going to go ahead 7 to heaven. Come on. 7. There we go. Right. So we're going to go view. We'll align view. Let's go align camera to view. So we got this right here. So what I'm going to do, we're going to take this cube right here. We're going to go Shift D. We'll move this across. So we're duplicating stuff. Shift D, duplicate this across. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to go Shift D, duplicate this across. It doesn't matter if there's a big gap in between, like the gaps kind of give it a little bit of character. We're going to be rotating these anyway, so it's cool. So, take all of your cubes that you've just made, and we're going to go ahead and just duplicate these upwards. And go ahead again, duplicate these upwards. And once again, up. And once again, we'll go up. To be honest with you, I think this row needs to come down just ever so slightly. Oops. Let's go view camera. Active camera. Right, okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and take these down just ever so slightly. Okay, so once we've got these, we can go ahead and select everything. So we can go Shift D. Bring this down. So it comes to the bottom right here. And then we're going to go Shift D again. We'll bring this up. And what you'll notice is that these are just slightly off the camera length. So what I'm going to do, let's go box select. Double click the camera right here at the bottom if you've got an overhang, so that we're not touching the camera as well. We're going to press G. Oh, wow. Okay, let's press G. Bring this down. Come on. Right, so. Sorry, 1 second. We will grab all of this. I hope this doesn't crash again. Right, I'm just going to press Shift, hold Shift, and then double click the camera so that we're not selecting the camera. So that it's not selected up here as well. So we're going to press G. And we're going to bring this down. So it's just here as such. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to rotate the camera. So we're going to click the camera. And what you want to do, just press R for rotate. Since we're 7 to heaven, this will not move in any other trajectory. We're going to go so that it's just sideways like this. So just try and line up the cubes a little bit just on the side. So the best way of doing it, I think, is we just press G, bring this across. You want to make sure, when this comes up, you've kind of got this line just directly down the centre of the cube right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate all of this to the sides as well. So double click your camera or single click your camera, make sure that it's not selected up here. We're going to go Shift D, and we can just go ahead and we can move this across. So whilst this is at an angle for us, it isn't actually an angle within Blender, it's just that the camera is at an angle. So let's go ahead and get this across. You can zoom out, you can zoom in at this point if you'd like to. So now we've got this nice little gold thing going on, and if we go into the render, we've kind of got this nice little kind of checkered background going on. We got the lighting at one side. What you can actually do is you can move the lighting to more the middle. So say like you've got the time on your phone or something like that, you can just go ahead and place this at the top, and this will be the brightest part. So this gold doesn't look very goldy. So what I'm going to do, we can go ahead and we can turn down the roughness if you want to, so you've kind of got that little gold going on. But to be honest with you, it doesn't look great, right? And also you've got this light right here, and then you've got this light right at the bottom right here, which means that at some point I duplicated the lights, and I did. So there's one right here, so let's get rid of that. There's one right here, so let's get rid of that. We don't need the contamination of other lights within this. So we're going to go ahead and go to the active camera again. And now we have this nice little bit. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go add. Let's get a plane in the background. So we've got that nice little background between. Now with this background you can do any tone that you want. Just press new. We'll change the material to background. And what we can do with this gold now, we can go onto the shading tab. And essentially, you could have an angle, actually, if you really wanted to. You could put the angle this way for your piece. So what I'm going to do before we start amending camera angles is let's go ahead and add a noise texture just to pick up on some of that lighting. We'll go colour to base colour. You'll notice that the base colour now changes and we've got this nice little rainbow thing going on. So what, you know, you're probably asking me what was the point in changing it to gold? Well, it's just reference for that part of the video. So what we're going to do now is rechange it to gold and add a colour ramp. So we place a colour ramp right here in the middle. You'll notice that you've got black and white. The more that I pull the black across, the less light there is. But if we put the black and the white together, the more contrast there is. So depending on what you would like, we can do mild scratches, we can do heavy scratches. So on this point right here, we can change this white out to gold. You can have like a nice little rose gold, like a royal gold or something like that. Or you could just have standard. Let's see, I'm just trying to pick the best. See, I'm looking at the objects, looking for gold and stuff like that. But what I should be doing is looking at the colour bar at the bottom just to kind of get that specific tone. I think that's just about right. Okay, so once we have this and we click render, we have something like this. Now, obviously we don't want all of these pits everywhere because it looks unsightly, right? So what you want to do, let's go back onto the other render mode and we will do add and we're going to do bump. Now you can do bump on two sides actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to do colour to height with the bump. So we go noise texture to bump, colour to height. And we should have something like this. So when we render this, we now have this gold that's got little imperfections on it. We can go ahead and just move the black up and we can see that there's more texture there. If we move the black away, it's a little bit more flatter. So it's totally up to you what you want to do with your piece. Remember, this is your piece. You can also take down the roughness and you can have that super shine going on. But if there's nothing going on in the background, I wouldn't advise it. So what I mean by the background is if you put, let's use this for an example. So I don't like using some of the lighting that Blender provides, such as suns and spotlights and stuff. So what I do instead is use emissions on planes. So if you had a plane and you had an emission on your plane, for me it's a better lighting source than the standard ones. I just feel like I have more control over what I'm doing. So we've got this right here. What we can do is we can take the noise texture and the bump right here. We can go Shift D, move this down. And what we can do from here is the bump on the bottom that we've just moved down, we can change this up to the roughness. And you'll notice that it is super bright and shiny. Because the light is super bright and shiny. So let's just go ahead and just dim that light a little bit. It kind of reminds me of fudge. I don't know why it reminds me of fudge, but it reminds me of fudge. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, tone that down a little bit. And you've got your little grooves and patterns right there. So clicking back onto this, we can also mess around with the distance. And you can bring a little bit more gravel into that via the roughness if you really wanted to. Or you could reduce it just slightly. Or you could bring this gravel right in. And you could reduce the black. So you've got that nice little texture going on. But it's a nice little light gold kind of colour. So what we can also do, see how that goes lighter. We can also do this one at the bottom, the filter. This gives it a little bit more of a texture. So it's totally up to you what you want to do with this. Let's go ahead and view the camera just on the layout. And I'm going to click this background right here. So, you can see there's a lot of light coming in right here. You can see there's a lot of stuff going on. For me personally, I don't like the amount of roughness that's on here. So you imagine you don't like the amount of roughness that's on here. So we can actually go ahead and tone that down. So we can go with the distance just at the bottom right there. And just go ahead and just pull that back. Just ever so slightly. I can also go ahead and amend the tones that I've used. So maybe we could have some more orange in there. Make it a little bit more yellow. We could go ahead. We can place some yellow. Maybe some green. Just to kind of offset it just a little bit. And what I'm going to do, let's go to layout. I'm going to go ahead and just change some of these as well. So if we go rotate, R for rotate, we can move some of these in just a little bit and out. So they have little imperfections with them. Let's go ahead and just rotate some of these. So it gives it that nice little offset. So it's not just a boring background with squares on it, it's a little piece. So you can go ahead and just turn these. I would say just left and right, back and forth, rather than twist. So see, yeah. Okay, so say move them around to your heart's desire. See what you can do with them. Just go ahead and just move little ones here and there. Sorry, I'm just like gonna do this and maybe just stop talking. Let's go that middle one right there. Come on. And I think that would look pretty good for kind of a background. And also what you could do is pick up these as well. So we could go G. We could go the Z-axis, I believe it is. I just pick up like random ones and just kind of make some texture. Let's go with this one. Maybe, let's go with this one. Maybe this one. Just so you get that variation, really, of everything that's going on. And then I'm going to do this one. I think this is going to be the last one to move. Yeah. Okay, so once you've got all this finished, that's practically your background done. unless you want to add different lighting in the background and you want to do different things with it. Totally up to you. This is your project. Yeah, so this will probably be the end of the tutorial. Enjoy rendering as well. To render, you just click up on the render tab right here, render image, wait for all the samples to come through, and then eventually it will allow you to save under image, I think it is. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, welcome to the next Blender tutorial, guys. So what we're going to do, because this is a phone background, phone home page, whatever you want to call it, kind of deal, we're going to take the camera right here, we're going to go to the output, we're going to type in the dimensions for our phone. So we want to go 1440 for mine, and then I'm going 3088 for my resolution right here. Okay, so now you can see that the phone is kind of doing this thing. So the camera's doing kind of a phone thing right here. So what I'm going to do, we are going to go ahead and delete the default cube. And what I want to do is get this kind of like a side view kind of thing going on. So we're going to go view, align view, and camera to view. So we've got this roughly. I'm going to go ahead and split the atom right here, and we're going to go ahead and build this background. So I'm going to get rid of the lighting. We're going to delete that. And what I'm going to do over the top is we're going to go add, and you want plane. Go to your materials tab. We're going to go into new. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the plane right here into, instead of principal BSDF, we're going to go emission. So if you go 7 on your number pad, 7 to heaven, we can go ahead and we can go shift D. And we're just going to make kind of like a makeshift light right here. So shift D again. Take these three, we're going to go shift D. Go across like that. Go ahead again, shift D. Just right here. Select them all, shift D, go ahead, go across. And then we're going to go ahead and go shift D again. Just to the back here. So, select all of this. You're going to go G, bring it up. Sorry, one sec. G, bring it up. Just make it kind of central-ish. Okay, so we've got our little lighting rig right there. What we need now is our objects. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and add a UV sphere. Going to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see what's going on. And we're going to go into edit mode. What you want to do is take the faces just on top right here. Press delete, delete faces. And you want to be able to select all of the faces around the side. So shift control should be able to select everything right there. We're going to go to 1, which is the side view. Go ahead and click your toggle X-ray at the top. We're going to go E for extrude, bring this down. E for extrude again, bring it down to the next line, and all you're doing is following the inside of the little dome right here. So we're going to go E for extrude, scale it outwards, leave that little gap around the outside, E for extrude, scale it outwards, E for extrude again, and we're just going to go all the way down. E for extrude, scale it outwards, keep going, all the way. So it's going to be the glass base for our piece. Looks like the ice cream man's coming round. I hope and I pray that's not going to get picked up on the YouTube copyright algorithm, because that would be super annoying, because it's not my music that's playing, it's somebody else's. And I'm inside my own house and I can hear it. It's, I get it, he's got a business and he's got to run it, but at the end of the day, like, you're going to get me copyright restricted right here. Or copyright thingied, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead Just go around to the bottom right here and just round it off. Okay, so once we've got this, we're going to go ahead, take that X-ray off. Let's go with object mode. We're going to subdivide, sorry, we're going to scale this smooth. Go to new. Material, we're going to name this glass. And we will go and change this principal BSDF to glass in the back right here. And if we go into render, you can see that this is now gone to somewhat glass. But it's too rough at the moment, so we're going to turn down the roughness on this. Once you've got this as well, go to your render tab if you haven't already and change EV out to cycles. This glass is going to look a lot better on cycles. Oh my gosh, here we go again. I'm just going to try and talk and make sure like this doesn't get a blooming claim on it, because like you're hearing that music, right? Like, I'm just hoping it's not going to get picked up on my microphone. Like, that is so loud. I'm just going to press G. Let's bring this up. Scale this down. And then I'm going to go ahead and just move this back. Just to the side. Just move it down a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to need now is another UV sphere. I'm just going to go add. Let's get this UV sphere in here. We're going to go side view. And we're going to take this off render for the moment. Edit. We'll go for faces. Let's go with X-ray mode again. Just go with faces right there. We're going to delete. And you want to be able to select the vertices around the edge, the ring of this. So then we're going to press F for fill. Object mode. To be honest with you, I think it would have been better to have the sphere right there, but it is what it is now. So we're going to go shade smooth. I'm going to just go to the side view right here. Let's go shade smooth again. G, bring it up. G to the side right here. Scale it in. I'm going to take a wild guess. Yeah, it's not quite in there. Let's press G, bring that to the side. Just going to toggle this X-ray just to see where we're at. G, bring that to the side right there. And maybe just bring it down. So with this is going to be a little bit of liquid that's inside of here. So let's go to the rendered version. You can see now we've got this nice little liquid in the middle. We'll go to materials, new. Principal BSDF is fine. I'm just going to move the alpha down. The metallic up. The roughness down as well, because this is water that we're dealing with. And I'm just going to go for a random tone. Just completely random. We're going to go add. Let's go with a cylinder. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go G, bring this up. You have to align it with this. Well, let's shrink it down first. So we go G, bring this across. If we go onto here. And what we want to do is just place that on there. And just go ahead and just bring this just across so it covers the entrance. Edit mode. Take off your toggle X-ray. Let's get this face at the bottom right here. And we're going to go ahead. Want the face, not the actual thing. So face at the bottom. Let's scale this inwards. Just so it's about here. E for extrude. And then just scale it inwards at the base as well. Take this top part right here. We're going to go up. And we're just going to go scale in. Actually, no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and scale this in. Just as this. So let's go with this. E for extrude, bring it all the way up. It's got this nice little stand to it. And what we'll do with this, we will shade smooth. And then we're going to go new. And we'll make this a gold kind of colour. So metallic. Roughness, take that down as well. So now we should have something like this. You can mess around with the IOR on the glass if you want to as well. I'm going to go ahead and make this background black as well, so we kind of got that going on. I think we're going to need some more lighting, definitely some underlighting on this as well. Let's see what we can do. So, we've got these lights at the top here. I'm just going to go ahead and press G and bring them to the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and press G again, and I'm just going to bring them to the side on the other side as well. And then I'm going to select everything. And then we're going to go Shift D, duplicate these, and bring these to the bottom. So we have this nice little kind of mix going on. So what you could do as well, you could have a little bit of strip lighting along the sides. It's a little bit more deeper. So we could make that right now actually. We could go add, cube. Just elongate this a little bit. Oh. Why is... Okay, that was just super weird. Firefox just opened on me. Oh, don't ask why. That's super weird. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and we will go and we'll move this to the side. And this will be a side bit, so we're gonna go ahead and make this an emission. So let's go new. We'll go with emission. Let's turn that strength up a little bit, and we want to get that nice emission on the side there. So we're gonna have to do some backlighting here. So maybe just there, and then we'll go ahead and we'll tune in to just that side there, and then we'll take this one, press G, move it more kind of central, I guess. Let's see, so let's try and just introduce a little bit more strength with this lighting. I'm just going to go ahead. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to make another light right here. So this one, we're going to Shift D, move across the top. But this one is going to be G, and we're going to lower it down a little bit. So we got that nice little lighting going on. And what I'm going to do is we're going to take this, put some more here, put some more ahead in front, just kind of make this look real nice. And what we could probably do with this as well, we could probably take all of this that we've just made, Shift D, and then bring it down to make the rest of that little shine on that bauble. So once we've got this bauble right here, what we can do, let's see, let's take this, Shift D it, and we're going to go ahead G, bring this down, little pair drop, press G again, bring that across, and I'm going to take both of them, go Shift D, rotate 180, and then I'm going to move these ones back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of them. Let's press G to bring this forward. So we've got these nice in frame. What I'm going to do, G, let's move them across so we've got them nice in frame. And then we're going to go Shift D and do another row of these at the back. So what we can do, we can actually rotate these by 90 as well. Kind of have a little bit of variation at the back going on. Right, so what you're going to need next is select this camera bit right here, depth of field, eyedropper. We go for this bauble at the front and turn down your f-stop. So we've got this nice little kind of thing going on. Little depth of field. Right, so I'm going to take these ones at the back as well. I'm going to make... Let's go to the back. Shift D. It's going to go ahead and heighten this. So, these ones where you can see the little bits at the back, what you want to do is go to edit mode. You should already have the top selected. Just press E for extrude. And just bring it up. Got another one right here where it doesn't quite sit properly, so we're going to go to edit mode. E for extrude, bring it up. And I think that's all of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the floor right here as well. Let's go on to object mode. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this because it looks pretty funky up at the back here as well. Maybe we can lower this just a little bit, lower the lighting on it. So to do that we can go onto the materials tab. Just go ahead, lower the strength. And for these little bits right here as well, what I'm going to do, let's mess around with the IOR a little bit. Maybe a little less reflection, but some reflection is okay. And then the liquid on the inside that we have right here, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the alpha up just a little bit more. So we've got that nice little liquid coming down on the inside, that nice little drop, this nice little lighting that we've got as well. So you can have your time and date right here for your phone, or you can have apps on this as well. So yeah, just press render on this. You should be good to go. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're doing a phone screen, and what we're going to be doing today is a brick texture. So what I'm going to do, let's delete the default cube. Let's press 1 for side view, and let's go ahead and add, and we're going to go plane. R for rotate, and we're just going to rotate this by 90. Scale this out to wherever you need it, and what we're going to do is we're going to go view, align view, and align camera to view. So you want to make sure this box at the back is a little bit bigger than your camera. And what we're going to do, let's go into shading. We're going to go view, and we're going to go on to active camera. So with this background we're going to go new. We're going to go add and type in brick. Brick texture right here. We're going to go color to base color. We've got this nice little brick texture going on. Maybe scale it up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the sides a little bit bigger so we've got elongated kind of brick texture. So what we're going to need to do now is the mortar size we can put to 0.01, so it's nice and thin. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put color 1, color 2 with a bit of texture. So we could do textures on here. We could go ahead and do gabor texture. We could do noise texture just to give it that little brick look. So we'll go ahead and just do that. So you'll notice that we get this nice little pink going on. So what I'm going to do is just scale this down. This will be our texture for those particular bricks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this as well. So let's go ahead and Shift D. We'll just go color 2, color 2. And if you wanted to, you could actually scale this outwards just a little bit more, just to give that difference in shape and size. So what we can do now is add a color ramp right into the middle. And when we do this, you'll notice that we've got a lot of black, we've got a lot of white right here. So if you put the black against the white, it will contrast a lot more. So we want a nice little pink kind of background here. So what I'm going to do, metallic wise, we're going to turn this up. Roughness, we're going to turn it down. So now I've got this kind of nice little reflection going on. And what I'm going to do, we're going to put a bump in here as well. So let's go ahead and add, and we'll go with bump. I'll place it right here. You want the colour to be with the height. So just wait a second for this to render in. So now we've got this. So what we can do, we can mess around with the colours, but also we don't really have a light within this scene that's where we need it to be. So I'm just going to move this light back to where it should be, just in the middle. So when we render, we should hopefully have a little bit of lighting. But what I'm going to do, let's remove this bump texture. Let's go colour to this. And what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and just turn this metallic down just ever so slightly and turn the roughness up. I'm going to take all of this, put in this one, Shift D, duplicate it down. Now you want to put colour into, you can put it into metallic or you can put it into roughness. So you've got this nice kind of shiny kind of wall look. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to place the bump on this side. Let's add the bump right here. Colour to height. Just wait for that to render. Should have something. Okay, cool. So we can also turn down this metallic just slightly, just to make it a little bit lighter. I might actually remove that bump texture. So primarily we've got this now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and remove this bump. I don't think this serves any purpose. So we're going to go colour into factor. Let's wait for the shader to catch up. We have this nice little glitzy kind of look. So if we go view, align view, viewpoint with camera, active camera, we now have this nice little kind of shiny kind of view happening. So let's go back to the layout. Split the atom right here. And what I'm going to do is just move this light just to the centre, or maybe just above the centre. So this will be the point where you put the time, the date, whatever like that. So got this nice little shine going on. Let's go ahead and just shine that a little bit more. So yeah, this would be the brick background, just like a nice little cartoony background for you guys to practice with. So yeah, render that out, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, welcome guys to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're going to be making a phone screen kind of home background kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is let's go ahead to the render tab to begin with, and we're going to go ahead and switch out Eevee to cycles. Then we're going to go to the output section just at the side here. Now what you want to do, depending on what phone you have, is find out how many pixels across and up your phone has, so that these little backgrounds fit perfectly to your device. So what we're going to do, so for example, my one is 1440, so just go ahead and place in your pixel specifications. So we're going to go 3088 for the other side. So what I'm going to do for this one, this tutorial in particular, I'm going to go ahead and just press 1 on the number pad. So we've got the side view going on. We're going to go ahead and take this default cube, we're going to go S, just scale it up as such, and then we're going to press 7, and this will give us a top-down view. So, what we're going to need right now, we're going to need to go into the shading tab, and what I'm going to do, as long as you guys have got your cycles enabled up here on the render side, this will work perfectly. So, what we're going to do, let's go ahead and we're going to make a gold kind of colour. So, what I'm going to do, let's go add, and we're going to go Veroni texture. And I'm going to go ahead and place colour to base colour. We get this nice little kind of texture going on right here. And what I'm going to do is let's go to add, and we'll go with, let's go colour ramp. So we've got this right here in the middle. And what I'm going to do is start making some gold tones with this. So we're going to take this grey right here that we've just made, and let's put some orange in here. Let's go ahead and take this white, and then we're going to put a little bit of kind of red kind of tone in there, and then the black, I guess the black can stay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an orange just in here, just kind of give it those tones. So you can see what happens with the Veroni texture here. We're going to have like different bits. We've got different lines and stuff like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the Veroni texture just for 1 second, so that we can try and get this to a metallic state. So I'm just going to go ahead and just pull the metallic up, take the roughness down. Now we've got this nice little gold shiny bar. So this Veroni texture, I wanted to kind of show you how it works to begin with before we position it to where it needs to be. So, we've got our nice little gold going on here. We can see that it's a nice smooth surface. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the Veroni texture, go to your colour, and just drag across to your roughness. And we're going to have this just on the side. So what we're going to do from this point is we're going to go add, and we'll go bump. We're going to go ahead and place our bump just in the middle there, and you'll want to go colour to height rather than normal. So now we get this kind of texture. So you might not be able to see it on your computer, but if I just scale this up, scale this down a little bit, you can see like these little bits appearing. I don't know if you can see that. Let's go ahead with detail, and we'll go ahead with distance as well. Let's see. Okay, so we've got this right now, and if we scale this up, we can kind of see these little lines coming up, and we can see that it's got a little bit of a bumpy texture to it. So once we get to this part as well, what we can do, let's go ahead and add a noise texture as well. So the Veroni is just for little scratches. So we're going to go noise texture, we're going to go colour to FAC. You notice that you get these little patterns on top, and if I go like this, see how you've got these little kind of lines going on, these little imperfections. So what we're going to do with that as well is we're going to go to add, and we'll go bump. And we'll place this in the middle right here. So we're going to go colour to height. And once this loads, we've now got this nice little gold that's got a few little bumpy textures all over it. So if I just put this onto render right here, we don't have much of a light for our scene, but we should do just after. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go back to the layout section. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the light, because we're going to reimagine the light on this as well. So what I'm going to do, we go to materials tab. We'll see that material right here is just saying material. We're going to go with gold. And what we can do, we can amend this later on if it's not the right shade for us. So what I'm going to do, let's scale this down. I'm just going to go 7 to heaven. I'm going to go ahead and we'll go Shift D. Now depending on how big this is, depends on how big the gap is. So if I press 1, we have this. If I do 0, let's go 0.5, we'll have this. If we go 0.6, we'll have something like this. And if we go 0.9, we'll have something like this. So what I would suggest is, take this, and we could do 1 square apart. You see how that's 1 square apart right there? So we can go Shift D. Let's go 1 square apart right there. We'll go Shift D on the opposite side. We'll go 1 square apart right there. And what you want to do is just get this so that it's roughly 1 square apart. It doesn't have to be perfect for this background, but we can amend that later on if it's not so perfect for you. So we'll take this row right here, and we're going to go ahead and Shift D, and we'll duplicate this down again 1 square apart right there in between. And you can see there's a little bit out just here, so you can move this up, you can amend it, you can do whatever you need to do. But to be honest with you, imperfections kind of give the piece some character. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and just amend this just to here once more, and then I'm going to go ahead again and we'll get this down here roughly 1 square apart, and then I'm going to go ahead, duplicate this, and we'll get this up onto the back right here. So once we've got something like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move this camera out of the way so that we don't end up duplicating that as well, because that's not something that we need. So once we've got this, box selects everything, we're going to go Shift D again, we're going to go across, you can zoom in, find that little gap right there, and we can go ahead, take these, Shift D, and we can zoom in again. And we can go ahead, take this up, just going to press G, just going to bring this down, nice 1 square apart, as long as you can do that, or at least equidistant. Mine's just gone slightly off there, but that's fine, we can work with that. So we'll go again, Shift D. I hope your computer's keeping up at this point, because I know that my old one probably wouldn't have at this point. So we're going to select absolutely everything, and we're just going to go Shift D, and we'll move this across. So the primary goal for this is to kind of make this nice little grid reference. We can go ahead and just press G. Okay, so once you have something like this, what you want to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go View, Align View, and we'll go Camera to View. Now if it goes something like this, all you need to do is we've got this end time on the camera, and just improve it. That's all you do, just improve it, and this should just pop up. You see how it's disappeared and now it's popped up, yeah? So take your camera, just press G, bring it across, and just fit it roughly into your square grid that you've just made. So when we render this, we've got this nice little gold going on, and if you've noticed, the scene doesn't have any light at the moment. So what I'm going to do, let's go back onto this render tab right here. We'll go Add, we're going to go Plane, and your plane should be in there somewhere. If you can't find it, go on to the X-ray mode. You should have it. Yep, there it is. Okay, so press G. And what you're going to want to do with this is basically align it to where the camera is. So we'll get the mid section just about there. So going to go ahead, press S, scale this up. And then I'm going to go S again, and we'll scale this up long ways. Okay, so once we've got this right here, what you want to make sure is that this is a little bit taller than the rest of it. So I'm just going to take it off X-ray just for one moment. going to press G, bring this up to roughly about there. So we've got those nice little towering blocks, but we don't have so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press 7 again. And we'll go to the render mode. And what I'm going to do with this is we're going to go new. When it catches up. And what we're going to do is go to emission. And now we've got these nice little emission coming in through the background. Now that is an ISO for me. I don't know about you, but that is very much an ISO for me. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn this down. Let's go for 200, maybe 100 to 200. Should be absolutely fine. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this again. We're going to go shift, let's go side view actually, let's go 1. Okay, so we've got our camera right here. You see that little dot right there, that's our camera. These are our little squares that we've got going on. And at the side here, because we have a little lip, we should have, let's see, our little emission piece right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Shift and D. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. So what you can do is you can take this above the camera just here so you can't see what's behind it. So let's split the atom right here. We'll go view. Camera is active camera. And you can see we've kind of got this nice little reflection of the light above. So what I'm going to do is this material right here, we're going to call this emission 1. And what I'm going to do is duplicate this. So now we should have emission 1 and it should say 001 at the end. As we do. So now this is a copy of emission 1. So we can go ahead and we can say emission 2. So this will behave differently from the one that we have below. So now we can turn this one up a little bit. What I'm going to do with this top one right here is I'm going to go ahead and shrink it down just ever so slightly. And I'm going to go ahead and just maybe increase that strength just ever so slightly as well. So what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to offset this. So let's press G. Let's move this to the side, if it'll ever let me. Maybe just off screen just ever so slightly. So you've got that nice little lighting going on, but it's not too much. So I'm just going to press G, going to bring it down, make sure that it doesn't hit the camera. So you've got that nice little side lighting going on. And then I'm going to go ahead and Shift D. Come on. So my computer's been a bit slow now. And then we'll move this to the side as well. And I'm just going to increase the strength as well. So we've got this nice little kind of gold edge with some little cubes going on that are just being lit up, and then the middle is a little bit darker. So what we can do with this as well, with the emission, we can actually change this to a nice red, or we could go blue with it. Just kind of offset that gold a little bit. Take your two emissions above, just lighten those a little bit more. And now we've got this nice little gold technique kind of going on. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this tutorial. You can press render on that as well. Fisheye is a really great idea with this as well if you wanted to explore that. So go ahead and click your camera. You could do fisheye with this. You're gonna let me? Yes, you are. Right, okay. So, we've got this nice little background going on. If you want fisheye, I believe, you go to type, and it's just panoramic. Or you can go with the second one right here. I have trouble pronouncing. Or you could go with not panoramic, sorry. Yeah, if you go with this one, you can kind of zoom in and out. Let's see. Let's go back with that one. Yeah, so you can kind of make some nice little stuff. So what I would suggest is just play around with it. Just see what you can do. You know, this panoramic, you got fisheye right there. You got fisheye. This one where you can get like a ball kind of thing, mirror ball. If you want to try that. As well. So, yeah, there's like different versions of different things. I mean, like, I'm just playing around at the moment, but, yeah. Hold on, if I just do that. See how you got this as a render right here? So you could, in theory, let's just put this back. Put it to that one. A little bit more in. Go ahead. Just experiment with it a little bit. So you can get something like that if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. But to be honest with you, perspective is pretty good with something like this. Yeah, so if you guys enjoyed the tutorial, please like, subscribe, do all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.